Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? I know it's dark, but it's documenting my journey again. Homeless day 2, temporary homelessness. As I ground myself this morning, I had a very powerful. I woke up with a very powerful lesson this morning. As I sit in the park that I used to ground myself when I did have a place to stay, I learned this morning, and I'm gonna really write it down. Real talk. I'm gonna really apply this principle. My friend, and a person that I used to associate with, took my place to stay from me because of her low vibrational feelings, and I blocked her on all social media, and I blocked her number. And I actually saw this in a dream, which is weird. And what she taught me, or what the lesson taught me, was, like Kevin Gates' song says. He said in No More. He says, I pray God touch your soul no matter the coldness. He said, pray God touch your soul, no matter the coldness in it. Learning to let go of my feelings. I'm back in the building and got me a load delivered. Pray God touch your soul, remove the coldness in it. Learning to let go of my feelings. I'm back in the building and got me a load delivered. And he said, remove the coldness in it. Learn to let go of my feelings. Get back in the building and got me a load delivered. And now he's talking about drugs with load delivered, but the load for me will be my work ethic. And because this morning, for the first time ever, I'm learning to let go of my feelings. I'm literally like 10 minutes away from the last house that I was in. And I used to come here every day and ground myself. And I just watched a video that said you don't need no friends. And I woke up with that idea. You don't need no friends. And because my Venus and my Saturn is in Pisces, like the way I make money in my career is going to be a very isolated matter. I learned that, like, especially out here, like right now it's about 5:17 a.m. and I'm learning this is the peak hour. This is early rising, and I wish what I wish I would have did was I wish I would have did this when I first got down to Atlanta. I wish when she first gave me a place to stay, I would have kicked off the ground running like this. I did it for some time. Like I got up early and I went running, or I went to the gym, but I was never consistent. What I wish I would have did is I wish I had a routine for the past year of getting up and making content, getting up and making hundreds of videos. Like I had the idea for a long time. I never pursued it. And I didn't understand that those ideas were life-changing, pursuing ideas that were going to change my life. And now that I'm forced to do it under harsher circumstance, I think to myself that this person that gave me a place to stay, I'm thankful for the experience. But I realized today she didn't take anything away from me. And here's what I mean by that. If I wasn't disciplined in my heart, if I wasn't disciplined in my mind, if I wasn't disciplined in my spirit, she'd have took something away from me. Meaning all my value would have been in my external stuff. She didn't, like, my phone is still on. And you know what's funny? What's funny is that What's funny is that um what's funny is that maybe 2 years ago I wouldn't have felt this way to some extent. I felt this way always, but like it wasn't to the way the way I feel it today. And the way I feel it today is with like kind of like what Davey Beyonce when he quotes the Bible. He says, "I have a peace that surpasses all understanding." And right now, I understand the lesson of like you didn't create your own security, so you basically gave somebody the key to your future when you and I didn't elevate fast enough. I didn't like, and when the spirit was telling me fly higher, fly higher, go faster. Now I understand as the physical comes, as a physical incantation is here, the physical placement is here. I understand why it was said because of this situation. And that just shows you my premonition is strong as fuck. Because I knew this was coming to some extent, and I didn't listen. And I heard it almost 6 months ago. It was like, yo, if you don't think higher and bigger, and you don't go higher and faster, you're gonna take an extreme loss. And I get it now. Physical loss is that this is the physical loss. This is what happens because I didn't think higher and go faster. So I gotta start from a place of where I used to be, and I'm gonna do my best not to externalize anymore. Because even though I want to blame the other person, but I can't, because when I take a higher level of responsibility, it's like you had a whole year without paying any rent. You didn't save any money. You didn't even do, let's not even say the spiritual stuff, and you didn't do the healing work, and let's even forget all that. You didn't even save any money. Like fuck all that. Fuck all the spiritual stuff. Fuck all the esoteric tarot cards and all this bullshit. Fuck all that. You didn't even save any money. And even if you stayed for a year, I don't even think I've learned, as I'm saying it out loud, that's not even the problem. The problem is you didn't even save any money. Like, because you knew this was not going to be forever. You didn't even save any money. So if you had to leave, you have a better option. And that's what I need to take into consideration. Not, and I say save money in this instance, even though I'm not a huge believer in saving money, quote unquote. But you don't even have like somewhere where you're getting cash flow, or if you're not having cash flow, where's your stacked cash? So right now I don't have cash flow, but where's your stacked cash? That just in case something happens to you, you're secure. You can sit on a cushion. And yeah, I don't have that. And when I take 100% responsibility, I can't blame her for that. I can't look to her and say, yo, it's your fault. It's boopity boop boop boop, because she's a wolf in sheep's clothes. So anything that she does to me would have been sent right back to her, and I've seen it over and over and over. When she try to play me, it comes right back to her. And I'm like, yo, that's it. Like, for real, I didn't save no money. And I was rent free for a year. I didn't have to pay no water. I didn't have to pay no electricity. I didn't have to, yeah, I dealt with some emotional turmoils, but I didn't save no money. And that's horrible. That's horrible. I didn't save not a penny. And I'm not doing that from this month forward. I didn't save a fucking penny. And that's a problem. And I even saw, I even heard a video that said something yesterday by Myron Goldman and his daughter. He said, what's your greatest superpower? Expectation or expectation or choice. Now, I'm still on the limbo of choice, but I get what he means by expectation, because I don't think you can, because what I've learned about my life is you can't always control your expectations, but you can control your choices. But how his daughter mixed it up so they don't debate. She said, your greatest gift is choice. Your greatest superpower is your expectations. And yeah, that's a nice way to say it, but I still don't agree with that. I believe that, but yeah, for instance, I feel like in certain circumstances, your greatest power is expectation. Because what you expect helps you align your choices. Like, for instance, if I expect, because like one of the things I'm debating in my mind is my expectation of how long this is supposed to last, right? And based on your expectation of how long you think this is supposed to last, your choices align. Your choices follow, actually. And that's one thing I'm learning. My expectations, my actions follow those expectations. But sometimes your choices are so limited that you can't really heighten your expectation, because you can't see so far down the line that you can have a certain level of expectations. So right now, even though I still think to some extent it's all about choice, but this in a great second place, expectation is powerful, because if I expect to be in this position for 2 months, that's what it shall be. And that's what I'm even, like, a concept I'm trying to come to grips with as well. It's like at this point, it's like, what do I expect this to be? How long do I think this is supposed to be? How long is it going to take me to learn this lesson? And I think that's on my level of expectation for myself. Yeah. Or I would even say, if you put in parentheses the expectations, aka, I think that's the wrong word. I think it's standards. I think what really is a better word that Myron should have put is your standards. Now that is the greatest choice. Your standards is your greatest choice. Is your greatest superpower, because if you have low standards for yourself, your choices will follow your standards. No matter what they are. And that's a better way to word it. If you say standards instead of expectations, because sometimes you really can't control expectations, but like, in the words of Tony Robbins, your standards is something that you will always get. And right now, what the universe is telling me is that it's time what I didn't do. Here's what I didn't do when I had a place to stay. I didn't heighten my standards. And I think that's the number one lesson of when I was living rent free. I didn't heighten my standards. My standards were still the same from when I was homeless to when I had a home. I wasn't even out of the garbage now, and my standards were getting better, but my standards weren't high enough. I should have heightened my standards to where to where they exceeded my situation at the time. And now I learned that lesson where that's why I feel like she didn't take anything away from me, because my standards are not for myself are not lower because she took the physical place to stay from me. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like two to one. She didn't take anything away from me. Two, it's just time. If I heighten my standards for myself, life is different. Because like Tony Robbins said, it is really true. You only get your standards. You don't, and like, even like I say with standards, right? If I set my standards high, I don't tell everybody that I'm homeless. And I mean it, meaning like, especially if I know you're not going to do nothing about it, and it's like for you to throw a pity party for me, because I already know when I was homeless the first time, nobody did nothing for me. There was only the person who gave me a place to stay was the only person who was in position to do something, and that's why she gave me a place to stay, because she was in position. And the lesson behind that is, even don't regurgitate the story if you know they're not in a position to do anything about it. Because all you're doing is spreading your business to them. And I'm saying that in a position, it doesn't always mean, and here's the trick about that. It doesn't always mean they have to, let's say right now, it doesn't always mean they are materialistically giving you money. But it means let's say emotional support, mental support, because we all need that. Mental support, emotional support, spiritual support, because I learned that support financially is just as important as financial support. Financial support and emotional support and spiritual support, they balance each other out. I think if you only have financial support, that's whack. Because what happens when your bills is paid, but you depressed? You got nobody to celebrate with. You don't got nobody to fuck with. And I said that's the thing about the crazy part about the person who gave me a place to stay. I say, you do that to stuff like me, people like me, you lose great friendships. That's like, yo, that could be really valuable to you, and you fuck up because you felt some low vibrational shit. And I was like, because if we commune later, I'm like, yo, you was low vibrational. Period. Because I wouldn't have did that to you. And if we would have had a conversation, I would have been, but again, I vibrate differently. So because I don't have those emotional traumas that she has, yeah, I would have felt away a little bit, but I was like, but the thing is, here's the thing. This is why I love being transparent. When you don't have nothing to hide, if somebody talks about you, it's like, okay, so it's either you're going to confirm it as the truth or you're not. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? And now here's the thing. Here's the lesson I heard twice. If you're really friends with somebody, and this is where I fault at. If you're really friends with somebody, nobody should feel comfortable talking shit about them to you. And I don't think that lesson, even though it partially does, but I don't think that lesson applies here. Here's why. Because if what they were saying were false, maybe that would apply. If somebody was just talking shit about that person, yeah, I understand. But if they're saying the truth about them that you've experienced too, you're like, You gotta look at yourself and be like, am I the fool in this situation? Fucking with them then? You get me? And I think that's my position. Like if people are saying the same thing about her, it's like, whoa, maybe I'm yeah, maybe I'm the fool. I'm the fool. My third greatest lesson in this situation was that I knew what my intuition told me and I didn't move. And I gotta stop doing that to myself. Like when I know a relationship is toxic, I gotta leave it. For real. Because if I don't do that, like it fucks me up. It fucks me up. It fucks me up. Like I learned that even like for instance with the glasses this morning, right? My glasses this morning was in my bag and it broke again. And you know, one of the ways I was helping myself through helping her was like learning how to apply super glue to different products. And when I applied super glue to a plastic piece on the fridge, I did the same with my glasses when I moved to I shade to that. When I was going to Florida. And when I was going to Florida, I glued my glasses so I could see, right? And when I glued my glasses so I could see, it gave me my glasses again. And that's what I mean by saying stuff like this is not a loss, because I did gain from it, and because my 7th house is in Aquarius, I didn't lose. It's really all about the mindset. I never lose. Yeah, I may take a physical loss. It may look like I'm losing, but I didn't take a loss. Yeah, I wish this would have turned out differently. And that's what saddens my heart sometimes, to be honest with you. Because I wish it would have turned out differently. I wish I would have left with a place to stay. But the thing is, I didn't heighten my standards. I didn't heighten my standards. And that's what I mean. That's what I think about, because that's when you switch the word standards with expectations, it's different. That's a different situation. That's a different feeling. Like standards and expectations can be two different things. If you have a standard of a certain living, no matter how much of a loss you'll take, you'll regain your standards. But because I've never, you know why I didn't gain my home, was because my standard didn't. Yeah, I was looking, but I didn't heighten my standard of activity, of discipline, of mindset to look for a home. I only looked. Yeah, I mean, and trust me, I went to dozens of viewings, over a dozen viewings, right? So I was looking, but my daily actions didn't align with somebody who was trying to get their own place. And my standards were so low that I kept my standards to low to give somebody. I kept my standards at a place that gave somebody else the power over my living situation. And that's my fault. Yeah. And my standards were not high enough. I got real comfortable. I was eating. I got a bike. All that stuff. It's one. No, I got way comfortable. Like I got way too comfortable at that standard of life. And yeah, and I can't blame nobody for that. And that's not. And the universe separated us. And I'm taking this quote unquote temporary loss because I'm not supposed to be there. Because now that I saw her true colors, I saw her in totality. All she's gonna do from here on out is put me in harm's way. Because now I see her. Because before, I was seeing her, seeing all these stuff that didn't add up. And once everything added up, I can't unsee it now. And we'll never be friends ever again because it's like, you ain't have to go that now. Now I don't see you the same. Now I see you as a snake. Now I see you I see you as a snake. You know? I see you as a snake because however she puts it, I get the lesson that I was supposed to learn. But that's not because she's trying to teach it to me. She's really just a vessel. But she didn't have to go that route. And she showed me who she was. And she has a broken mind. And there ain't nothing I could do about that. But it's time to regain my, like I said, I ain't lose nothing because I ain't lose my mind. I ain't lose my mind.